What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Masters Fantasy Show. It's brought to you by MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. Joining me, as always, the Doc. I'm the commissioner here at Masters Fantasy Leagues, one of the commissioners. Also, shout out to John and Darren, two of the best owners in the fantasy industry, the best owners in the fantasy industry. If you don't know that by now, man, check us out, MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. Draft season's in full effect, man. We're running drafts every single night from now all the way till kickoff. Did like 8 live drafts the other night. Posted every night at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Some earlier stuff on the weekends coming up too. Definitely want to check that out. Now what we're here to talk about, man, the preseason hype machine, man. It's already working. You know, Twitter's buzzing about a bunch of stuff. This is going to be preseason hype machine rookies. And I'll say, man, these are guys, trades have been pouring in, yesterday, today, and that always happens. Reports start coming out. This guy looks great in camp, etc. Right. You see the trades tick up for that individual player. Sometimes I think it's just hype and you guys need to pump the brakes. Other times, man, it's legit. And you can probably get a little bit of a discount now on some of these guys if you believe in them. If you believe that, this guy really has a shot, to be a possible running back somewhere. I mean, probably get them cheaper now than you'll ever be able to. So let's take a look at some of these guys that I've heard the most noise about. And maybe I'll just ask you first, Doc. Is there anybody, because I know I read you my list. Is there anybody not on my list that's on your radar or somebody that you've heard a lot about?
Possibly. I'll add them in at the end if I can. If I can remember any as we go.
If something comes to mind, I need someone to go out here and start making some trades for. So, but first guy on my list, this is a guy, man. I had 20 trades in here for him this morning. Isaiah Pacheco, Kansas City running back, round 7, pick 30, which apparently doesn't matter in this case. I read some reports this morning. It was running with the first team. They got Ronald Jones in the doghouse, possibly being cut. Dude, is it hype? Or is this a guy we should really be taking a look at, Doc?
Well, I'm on the hype train here for this one a little bit. And just, I know Ronald Jones just seems to get in the doghouse wherever he goes. Man. So that's not ideal.
Yeah, I read a report. Ronald Jones was getting water for everybody.
Yeah. It's never good news with him. It's which stinks because he is super talented. Clyde, obviously, I expect big things from, but he's got the injury history. There's some talk they might use him a little less to keep him, fresh and not hurt. They don't have a lot of the guys that we've seen in the past, like the Darrell Williamses, the Damian Williamses, Ronald Jones was supposed to be that guy. So, I think realistically, this is a guy that you can get and, take a flyer on, lottery ticket. I would not be giving anything of medium or higher value to get him, though.
A 2023 second.
Probably the most I would give.
Yeah.
The absolute most. I would not feel comfortable really giving anything else because at this point, all you're really hoping for is for Clyde to get hurt.
Yeah.
Which
I'm thinking the only way I'd be willing to do it personally is if I had Clyde on my team.
Right. Maybe. Totally agree. Yeah.
I'd consider.
Or if I had Ronald Jones and I was banking on him to maybe do something, then I'd cover myself a little bit with that. But yeah, overall, he's a 7th round pick. I know he's looked good, but at the end of the day, there's just more invested into guys like Clyde and Ronald Jones. I got to believe Ronald Jones will end up being the backup for the foreseeable future, at least for this year. I can't imagine they'd cut him.
I know.
They could. They very well could, but I got to believe he'll get it together and be their backup.
Yeah, and the preseason hype machine's got me, kind of confused. I'll be honest. Yesterday doing waivers, I was looking at Ronald Jones like, man, am I just, wasting a roster spot holding this guy again?
Right. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah.
But I held off for another week. Right? At least.
Yeah. If this was a 2nd or 3rd round pick, then I think we'd be you
Yeah.
know, in a position where we're starting to get a little more worried. But the fact that he's a 7th rounder,
But a
I
third,
mean,
like a 2023 third right now, you'd have no problem offering that, shooting it
I
out
think,
there.
yeah, I think I'd take that flyer.
I
I
think I
mean, I don't
would
really
too.
value a future third that much anyways, but realistically, you're going to end up with someone of that level anyways, most likely. So you might as well.
Right. All right. So and then just last question, I hate to put you on the spot. If you had him on your team, would you take a third or would you sit on him? Are you making that
Uh,
move to go out and try to get a second or a third, or you're going to sit on him?
I would probably be aggressive and offer him for a second to a lot
At
of
every
people,
league
but
member. I'm with you.
yeah, but
I
I'd
think that's a
probably
good
take a
strategy.
third
All right,
too.
next guy on the list here, man. Another guy, preseason hype machine. Got videos of this guy coming out, making wonderful, amazing catches in practice. Your boy down in Notre Dame, Claypool's already put him in the Hall of Fame. Pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, most people are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he says he's going to be the rookie of the year by a mile. Uh,
Gosh.
George Pickens, man, what's your thoughts?
I mean, you know, as a Browns fan, it hurts to see because it's just another Pittsburgh Steeler that is an incredible receiver. And I mean, I've been huge on Pickens from the start. I really wanted the Browns to draft him. He's just a guy that is like the prototypical receiver, great talent, great hands, super competitive. Like he does it all. And, you know, he's got great athleticism. And I mean, you've seen that in the clips that we've seen from camp. He's just all over
Yeah,
the place. And he's not afraid to get in your face afterwards either. He's talking trash to Minka
yeah,
Fitzpatrick and all these guys. I mean, he's an
he's got that
absolute
dog in
stud.
him for
He
sure.
does big
Yeah,
time. I
he
mean,
does.
and there's people saying that they haven't seen someone like this, like stand out this obviously in camp, like in a long time. Like they can't think of anybody at Steelers camp that's put on a show like this. So I mean, that's enough for me. They've had so many good players go through there. For this to be that outstanding, for him to be playing as well as he is, he's making Trubisky look really good too on some of
Wow.
these. And hey, I don't care. Like, I know there's good DBs in this division too, but man, I've been high on this guy. I'm still high on this guy. I don't think it's going to be too long until he's the number one in Pittsburgh. I know they have Deontay. I know they have my boy Claypool, but Pickens is a different animal. I mean, the
Yeah,
only reason he dropped that far is because he got hurt and didn't really even play last year.
right. And you're kind of leading me right into my next question, and you're kind of poking at it, but you don't quite want to go there right now. So it's my job to ask, man. It sounds like you're believing the hype. I am too, man. He looks great. I agree with everything you said, man. Pittsburgh, I mean, they just produce these guys, man. On top of
It's
that,
crazy.
the praise, the video. I'm buying the hype, man. I feel like it's not even a question. And Doc's a big Notre Dame guy. I know you're a big Claypool guy. I feel like I can safely say you're putting him ahead of Claypool. But right
Yeah.
now, today, is he the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver you want to own? Or is that too far?
I'll put it this way. He's the one I want to own,
Yeah.
but I also wouldn't pay the most for him right now,
Yeah,
if
me
that
neither.
makes sense. I
It
mean,
does make
Deontay is
sense.
still more valuable at this point. And again, it's all camp hype. We've seen plenty of guys wreck camp and then do nothing. Not many people wreck camp as much as he is, but still, I can't put him ahead of Deontay yet. But yeah, I mean, if I had to choose one of those three, I'm putting my stamp on Pickens.
Okay. Yeah, and I think you're spot on with that. Uh, I'm not putting him over Johnson just yet.
Yeah.
It could happen, but I mean, if you're making trades for this guy, don't go that far yet. Deontay's still the one. I think Pickens the two. Claypool sliding to the three. Let's talk about Claypool just for 1 second, though. I mean, what does this mean for him? I mean, value has to be declining quite a bit. I
Yeah.
mean, is this
I
a buy
mean,
low opportunity? Or are you shipping this guy out for a second? Trying to get a second out of him? Your
I
thoughts?
think if I had him, I think I would keep him just because of the talent. But I mean, his issues have not been really playing wise. I mean, he just does a bunch of stupid stuff. More like a maturity issue for him, which he had at ND too. They talked about it a lot. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. don't remember what I was saying. Sorry, I got a call and it like threw off my whole thing.
Oh, you're good. You were
Um,
saying he was having some of the same problems in Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, like
Oh,
he had, like they would always talk about his like off field, like the traits kind of stuff is what they would always say. It would drive me nuts, but that's just kind of how it is. But talent wise, he's through the roof. So in terms of dynasty, unless I get an offer that I can't refuse, I think I'm gonna keep him, hang on, because if he figures it out up here, I mean, below the neck, he's an absurd athlete.
yeah.
And I mean, that's going to translate to points if he can get it figured out upstairs.
Yeah. And one thing, man, that I've noticed, and it's a reason I've chose to hold on to Claypool pretty strongly. I just his stats, from his rookie year to his sophomore year, obviously they went down quite a bit. It was mostly all in the touchdown category. His catches, yards, pretty much the same. Would have liked to seen a bump up, but I mean, with
Right.
Big Ben on his last leg, that offense just, outside of Najee Harris, just wasn't great.
Right.
I'm just saying, I feel like his frame, what he's good at, I feel like those touchdown numbers very easily this year maybe he doesn't hit close to 10 again. Should have no problem getting 5 or 6. I would
Yeah,
think.
you would
You know
you
what
would
I'm saying?
think. Yeah,
at his
it should be
size.
that way.
Right. All right. And then the last guy on this list, another guy, man, flying. Man, dude, I've done 20 trades for this guy this morning. Blind bidding yesterday, was going through leagues. Guys were blowing $200 on this guy. Romeo Doubs in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers came out and praised him. I'll be honest, like, as of just what I've seen in trades, right now it seems like Doubs kind of got favor over Watson in that Green Bay offense. Maybe not quite guys are willing to pay as much.
Right.
But just more action I've seen with them, more hype. Is it real?
I mean, it's hard to argue with it. I'm one of those guys that threw 200 on him. I mean, I had too much money, but it's hard to not want to take a flyer on a guy who's getting that kind of respect and praise from one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen.
Yeah, right.
And
I guess, and I hate to cut you off, but here's my question. I try to phrase that a little better. Like, is it better to buy the dip on Watson right now, or pay the uptick on Romeo Doubs? Like, which one would you do right now? I guess that's.
I mean, I'd rather buy low on Watson because he hasn't even done anything yet.
Right.
So hopefully he comes back. I think they're projecting next week for him to come back from his knee, but he's like working on the sidelines and stuff. Like, he should be all right and good to go pretty soon. So I feel good about that. And we act like it doesn't matter, but where he was picked is going to be a big factor too. So I feel like they're going to slide him in. He's going to be a starting receiver for the Packers. And Doubs, I mean, he's got incredible playmaking ability from what we've heard. And I definitely think he's worth that flyer because, we've talked about guys like Lazard and Tunyon, who they've got. Right.
Season. We'll see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But even with that going forward, those two rookies, I mean, I want shares of all of them. I wanted Amari Rodgers last year, and I think I cut him for Doubs because it was like that kind of situation where, like, hey, nobody's even talking about Rodgers, and this guy's getting talked up by everybody. I mean, it could just be talk, but I mean, hey, I'm willing to buy the hype on him. I think it's more than just talk.
I like it, and I'm with you, man. I just think. And I said I think Lazard's going to have a big year. I think Watson's going to be a part of that offense. And we don't know. I mean, we just don't know.
Exactly. They have so many new.
Is it completely out of the right? Is it completely out of the question that Doubs could be the number one? Who knows? I mean, it's a stretch.
Yeah,
obviously.
but he definitely could.
But I mean, we just don't know. I think that's why guys, just the uncertainty and the upside there.
Yeah, I mean, it helps too that Watson's missing this valuable time. I mean, I would not be shocked if Doubs found his way to the top of the pecking order. It'd be pretty crazy if he did.
It'd be crazy, but I mean, worth a flyer, absolutely. So if by chance you're in a league they didn't get picked up in yesterday, I'll definitely bid on them next week for sure. Keep an eye out. I think that was all I had. Don't know if over the show, Doc, did anybody come to mind that maybe I missed? One of the guys or someone you're thinking about?
I was thinking more of. I am a little bit worried about. And this is totally different, but because of a rookie, I'm worried about one of those big name guys.
It's close
Um,
enough.
and
It's
actually, you
rookie
know what?
talk.
No, I'm gonna save that one for a different show because I like that one. But I will say Wan'Dale Robinson is a guy that another guy I paid a pretty penny for.
Just
He's
rubbing it
another one
in,
that's
man. Rubbing it
he was
in.
getting a ton of pub early on, still getting talked up a lot. You know, I like Tony as a player. I like Galladay as a player, but I mean, one's unreliable for his health concerns, and the other's unreliable for his off-field stuff. And I mean, Wandell just seems to be crushing it. And as much as I
Yeah.
don't like Daniel Jones, I like the new coaching staff that's around New York, and I do think that Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be, you know, a big piece of their offense going forward. Whether it is right now, I mean, they're talking him up a lot.
A lot.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he'll do it right out the gate because there's quite a few guys ahead of him that should be getting a lot of targets, like the Galladays of the world. But I don't know. I mean, we've seen the way things have worked in New York the last few years, and I have a feeling he's going to get his shot and he's going to do a lot with it.
Yeah, he's electric for sure. I don't know if at his size he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. But I mean, if they're going to feed him the ball, I'm definitely taking a flyer on him. I drafted him in a couple of my rookie drafts. Somehow in a league that me and Doc were in. So I was talking about earlier, ended up on the waiver wire.
Yeah. So I paid an arm and a leg for him because he's like a middle of the second round guy.
Yeah, and unfortunately for me, I paid like a leg and an elbow and came up a little bit short.
Needed the whole arm.
I was there at 10:01 looking to see. I'm like, damn it, Doc.
I was so excited for waivers yesterday. It's just it's football season, baby.
Man,
Game's starting tonight. I'm just full go. I'm ready.
Yeah. Oh, me too, man. I'm not leaving. As soon as this is over, I'm gonna edit the show. Got the big screen on behind me. Ready to watch some preseason football. Cannot
let's
wait.
see if Wan'Dale gets any action tonight. Yeah. I want to see how he looks.
Hit the like and subscribe button. Love for you to come be a part of the Masters family. Run a draft 7 nights a week. 700 Dynasty leagues. We've never folded a single one. Any last words, Doc?
No, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.